Peak innovation from a perfectionist company like Apple is always in question. Over the years, we've seen Apple introduce features that Android users had years earlier. For example, widgets always on display. And yes, we're still waiting to see if Apple is ever going to make a folding phone. But here's the thing, Apple has never been about being first. Apple is about refining and perfecting, taking their time to present the best possible version of something. So, does this approach mean Apple believes it's not about being first, but being the best? Innovation often comes at a cost, and for Apple, it's no different. Sometimes that cost is controversy. For example, with the iPhone 7 with the removal of the headphone jack and introduced AirPods. Now, AirPods was a funny thing. Everyone kind of mocked at it, laughed at it, said they looked like toothbrush heads. And just like when Apple decided to remove the Touch ID for iPhone 10 and introduce Face ID, giving you a larger display and offering gestures instead of the physical button that many users were used to, and the long-awaited switch from Lightning to USB-C on iPhones. I mean, yes, Apple was hesitant to do that, even though they were selling their USB-C models of iPad, and also for Macs, either they were charging via, USB-C or MagSafe. But that took a very long time for them to finally decide that, okay, let's make the switch to USB-C. These decisions weren't always popular, but they were always calculated. Apple's vision is rooted in solving problems, sometimes including making some along the way. There's no denying that AI has been Apple's toughest project yet. Siri, once groundbreaking, is now lagged behind regarding, Google Assistant and OpenAI's ChatGPT. But Apple isn't ignoring AI, they're just taking a different approach. Consider privacy. One of Apple's core features has always been privacy. And the main concern regarding AI has always been how safe and how private can it be. With Apple's approach to AI and Apple Intelligence, it's one thing that they wanted to make sure that they tackled, but they knew it was going to take time. We've heard countless stories about how AI can be dangerous and how it can use another person's voice, another person's singing ability, and altercate it to, be a deepfake and harm and cause dangerous crimes and make people accused of something that they haven't done. Apple's goal with AI and enhancing Siri is to be able to make sure it fits into the Apple ecosystem and be able to do it seamlessly, and it doesn't feel like it's something that's off-putting. It's more like second nature of Siri 2.0. As Apple takes AI seriously, they know that it's not something they want to be a flashy or gimmicky type of thing. It shouldn't feel like a product, it should feel like a service, in a way that feels natural and secure. Take machine learning. Apple has technically been using AI for a long time, but they were never fond of using that word just yet. Machine learning is a form of AI because it's learning certain things that you interact how you do with your phone and making sure that everything is stored on device and making sure that it's safe and secure. That way, Apple never knows your information unless you agree to share certain things with them. That's why you get all those little notifications when starting up your phone. They're asking, hey, do you want to share this type of information to improve certain things with your phone or for Apple to learn? But it's never just taken without your permission. Another thing, a little bit of AI is the text recognition and the search through your photos to see what type of photos that you're looking for. All of this machine learning is technically AI. Unlike its competitors, Apple isn't worried about just doing innovation. They're more concerned with trustworthy innovation. It is the cornerstone of its identity, and that's why they have been cautious about generative AI. When it's up to par with Apple standards, then it will be more integrated and more perfected throughout time to make our phones more smarter, yet safe and secure. Apple Intelligence gives us these 3 Ps. Innovation that prioritizes precision, privacy, and purpose over speed. A prime example is Apple Pay. Apple Pay has been a huge difference for the Wallet app on your phone. Being able to securely hold your credit cards, your debit cards, and your Apple Cash card information, your keys, anything that's stored in your Apple Wallet is stored on device. I recently scrolled through, I believe it was a new app that people are starting to use more called Blue Sky, and explained how Apple Pay truly works. Everything, like Apple mentioned before, is stored on device, and then it gets shared a little bit through the servers, but it's never, publicly shared. It's only certain information that's being shared, so that way you can make transactional purchases. But when it comes to Google Pay, theirs is collected on a data server, and that's kind of scary because if Google gets hacked, they have easy access to your information. Rather than your core information on iPhone, it's stored on end device, so that way no one can access it without your explicit permission. Of course, innovation doesn't come without its few quirks here and there. Apple's methodical approach can feel a little frustrating at times because of how slow they take to add things and kind of give us a little more excitement when it comes to software or hardware changes. I mean, think about it. Remember when Apple unveiled Universal Control? I think that was with macOS 15. And basically you are able to just have an iMac, an iPad, and your MacBook, and you can easily drag across a file or photo from each device to drag it to where you want it specifically. And that was a big game changer of how people use the workflows to drag and drop instead of always using AirDrop. And it was supposed to launch after 6 months technically, but then there was always some problems, and there was also a little bit more quirks. So it took longer than expected for it to finally arrive. And I think it almost took closer to a year for it to be fully out and fully functional. That's one thing. Apple promises us with features, and the thing is, Marques Brownlee says you shouldn't buy anything based on promises. But if you have a little faith and take a little gamble with Apple, they would be the most trustworthy to live on that. You can buy something off of the promise of them because they know that they can fulfill it. Apple has had a good track record of keeping promises that they have mentioned. I mean, think about this too. The calculator app took way too long to arrive on iPadOS, but they always said that once they find something groundbreaking and innovative, basically, then they will finally put the calculator app on the iPad. And at first, when they talked about it, they were like, yeah, the calculator app is on iPad now. But for them to not just like slap a calculator app and not have an excuse for why it took so long, they added math notes. And being able to handwritten notes and do equations and show graphs, something that's truly innovative specifically for iPad that really works the best for iPad, you can easily do for your Mac and your phone as well. But having something like that in school would have been amazing. Have a more understanding of how things can look like, have better notes, especially in college or in school. So like I said before, the whole leap of faith thing, Marques Brownlee is correct. You should not always buy something due to promise. But the thing is, Apple has been trustworthy to have that control because they know that and understand that things are going to take time. Apple Intelligence is a promise. It's a promise that AI is secure and safe for your Apple devices. It's supposed to be seamless and invisible until you need it the most. It's supposed to be a personal assistant. And with AI kind of taking its little bit of tolls on our devices and being able to be fully functionable, we have to have that grace that Apple is going to do this the way it's safe, smart, and private for you. Even though tech enthusiasts may feel like it's not worthy of an upgrade to go to the 16 models, it doesn't feel appropriate that this kind of feels like a S type of year for the iPhone 16s. The thing is, upgrade if you want to. Don't let all the opinions get in the clouded judgment of what you want to do. For me, I wanted to upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro Max because one, better battery life, the camera quality, and I love how I get to have a little bit of a faster version of having Apple Intelligence because that was my basis for wanting to upgrade, and I'm loving my phone ever since. If you decide to wait to the 17s to have it feel more of a, I guess, complete phone, sure, that's your call. But at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your decision to do so. And I feel like I enjoy my iPhone 16 Pro Max for the 2 months that I've had it so far, and it's been a great phone. I personally love camera control. I use it as a quick, action button to when I need to take photos when I'm at work, or just need to help capture some different photos when I'm just around and want to take some photos. And I love the new styles feature when I can adjust the type of lighting or type of coloration that I get with my phone. And so at the same time, I enjoy it. It's a little off sometimes and it can feel a little gimmicky, but that's fine. Every tech product is not going to be 100% with everybody. You can't please everybody. But the main thing I can trust from Apple is when they come out with something, it is refined, it is trying to push it to the very best version of what an iPhone, an iPad, and Mac, and iMac, and hopefully Apple Vision or Apple Vision Pro 2 can be. An Apple Watch, an Apple Watch 2. Apple Intelligence is peak innovation that's worth the wait. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Elijah Plus today. This is Lessons in Technology, and I'll see you in another video.